October 2023. The Red Sea. A billion-dollar American warship detected dozens of incoming threats on radar. Not missiles, not jets, drones, cheap, swarming, relentless. The crew had seconds to react. Traditional defenses? $4 million missiles against $50,000 drones. The math didn't add up. The Navy was burning through $500 million in weeks. Something had to change. Fast. What happened next rewrote the rules of naval warfare, and it's already deployed on America's most powerful aircraft carriers. The drone threat isn't coming. It's already here. From the Houthi attacks in the Red Sea to Chinese developments in autonomous swarm technology, America's carriers face a new kind of enemy. One that doesn't play by the old rules. One that overwhelms defenses through sheer numbers and costs pennies compared to the weapons designed to stop them. But the United States Navy didn't sit back and watch. They developed something extraordinary. A layered defense system so advanced, so cost-effective, and so lethal that it's changing how naval warfare works. We're talking about interceptor drones that hunt drones, lasers that shoot threats out of the sky for less than $1, AI systems that react faster than any human operator ever could. This isn't science fiction. This is happening right now on the USS Gerald R. Ford and her escort destroyers. And if you think you know how carriers defend themselves, think again. If you're proud of American innovation and military strength, type PROUD in the comments below. Let's break down exactly what's protecting our sailors at sea. The billion-dollar wake-up call. Let's start with why this matters. Between October 2023 and January 2025, U.S. Navy warships in the Red Sea faced nearly 400 drone and missile attacks. 400. Iranian-backed Houthi rebels launched wave after wave of cheap kamikaze drones at American ships and commercial vessels. The Navy responded the only way it could, with the weapons it had. Standard Missile 2s, Standard Missile 6s, Evolved Sea Sparrows. These are some of the most advanced anti-air missiles on the planet. And they worked. They shot down the threats. But here's the problem. Each SM-2 costs about $2 million. The SM-6? Nearly $4 million. Some of the more advanced interceptors cost up to $28 million apiece. And the drones they were shooting down? $50,000. Maybe less. Do the math. The Navy fired 220 missiles in just 15 months. The total cost? Nearly $1 billion. To stop drones that cost a fraction of that amount. This is what defense analysts call the cost curve problem. And it's not sustainable. If a cheap drone forces you to fire an expensive missile, the enemy wins. They can build 100 drones for the cost of one of your interceptors. Eventually, you run out of missiles. Or money. Or both. The Navy knew this couldn't continue. So they went to work on something different. Something that flips the cost curve back in America's favor. But before they could deploy it, they had to solve another problem. One that's plagued every warship since the age of sail. Magazine depth. See, a warship can only carry so many missiles. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyers escorting carriers have vertical launch cells. Limited space. Once those cells are empty, the ship is vulnerable. And reloading at sea? Nearly impossible under combat conditions. So even if you had unlimited money for missiles, you'd still run out of space to store them. The solution? Don't use missiles at all. Enter the drone hunters. March 2025. The USS Gerald R. Ford Carrier Strike Group put to sea. On the decks of 3 Arleigh Burke destroyers, crews installed something new. Launchers. But not for missiles. For drones. Specifically, 2 systems. The Raytheon Coyote Block II, and the Anduril Roadrunner M. Both are counter-drone interceptors. Small, fast, deadly, and cheap enough to change everything. Let's talk about Coyote first. This thing looks like a small jet-powered missile. Because that's basically what it is. It's launched from a canister, deploys 4 control surfaces, and screams toward the target at speeds between 345 and 370 miles per hour. Inside, a 4-pound blast fragmentation warhead with a proximity fuse. When it gets close to an enemy drone, it detonates, creates a fragment field, shreds the target. Mission complete. Cost? About $100,000 per unit. Compare that to a $2 million SM-2. You can buy 20 Coyotes for the price of one traditional missile. But Coyote's already proven itself. The US Army has been using it in the Middle East, Africa, and Europe as part of their counter-drone systems. It works. Soldiers trust it. And now the Navy has it at sea. Then there's the Roadrunner M. This one's even more impressive. Built by Anduril, a defense tech company that's shaking up the industry, Roadrunner M is a twin turbojet interceptor drone. It can be launched, hunt down a target, and engage autonomously or with human control. It can detect, track, and destroy threats at significant distances. But here's the kicker. If it doesn't find a target, it comes back, lands vertically, gets refueled, and launches again. Think about that. A reusable interceptor, like SpaceX recovering rocket boosters but for naval air defense. This dramatically cuts long-term costs. Instead of one and done, you get multiple missions from a single unit. Cost? Estimated around $500,000. Still a fraction of traditional missiles. And with reusability, the cost per engagement drops even further. Together, Coyote and Roadrunner M give carrier strike groups something they've never had before. Depth. Lots of interceptors. Low cost per shot, and the ability to engage swarms without bankrupting the defense budget. Admiral Darrell Caudill, commander of U.S. Fleet Forces, put it simply. These systems are part of the attempt to beat the cost curve, to give commanding officers more options, to defend the high-value units without burning through millions per engagement. And they're already operational. Right now, on the destroyers protecting America's newest supercarrier. But drones hunting drones is just one layer. The real secret? It's what ties everything together. Before we go deeper into the full defense system, take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of viewers watch without subscribing, and it costs you nothing but makes a huge difference to us. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the brain behind the shield. AI and the speed of battle. Here's the thing about drone swarms. They move fast. They come from multiple directions. They adapt. And they don't give you much time to think. In the Middle East, when U.S. bases faced drone attacks, radar picked up threats at just 4 miles out. That gave defenders less than 60 seconds to react. Older systems required 14 clicks just to authorize an engagement. 14. By the time you clicked through the process, the drone was already overhead. Humans are good, but they're not fast enough for this kind of fight. That's where artificial intelligence comes in. The Navy and defense contractors have developed AI-powered command and control systems that process threats at what analysts call machine speed, faster than any human could. These systems detect, track, classify, and recommend engagements in seconds, sometimes less. Lockheed Martin's Sanctum system is one example. It uses AI to scan cluttered radar environments, pick out real threats from false signals, and assign the right weapon to the right target. Instantly. Honeywell's counter-drone system does the same thing. AI-driven detection, classification, and tracking. All fused into one interface so operators see everything at once. No guessing, no delay. And in November 2025, the U.S. Army awarded Anduril a contract for the Integrated Battle Command System centered on counter-drone operations. This system consolidates sensor data, automates engagement processes, and manages multiple threats simultaneously. Why does this matter for carriers? Because a carrier strike group isn't just one ship. It's a fleet. Destroyers, cruisers, aircraft, submarines, helicopters, all generating data, all tracking threats. AI ties it together, creates a unified picture, and makes sure nothing slips through. Think of it like this. A drone swarm might have 50 units. They're small, hard to track, moving fast. A human operator might see 5 on his screen at once, but AI sees all 50, calculates trajectories, prioritizes threats, assigns Coyote interceptors to some, Roadrunners to others, flags the highest priority targets for traditional missiles, all in the time it takes you to blink. The Navy tested AI-powered tracking for maritime helicopters in October 2025. The goal? Automatic target recognition and tracking of drone swarms and multiple vessels at once. The system worked. And it's being integrated into carrier operations. This is the future of naval defense. Layered systems, AI coordination, human oversight, and machines doing what machines do best, reacting faster than any enemy can adapt. But there's another layer to this shield. One that sounds like science fiction, but is already being tested at sea. Lasers and directed energy. Picture this. A drone appears on radar, closing fast. Instead of launching a missile or an interceptor, the ship pivots a turret. A beam of focused light shoots out, invisible to the naked eye. It locks onto the drone. Holds for a few seconds. The drone's electronics fry. Its structure heats up. It tumbles out of the sky. Cost of engagement? Less than $1. The price of the electricity to power the laser. This isn't theoretical. The U.S. Navy successfully tested this in 2024 aboard the USS Preble. The system is called HELIOS. High-energy laser with integrated optical dazzler and surveillance. It's a 60-kilowatt fiber laser integrated with the ship's Aegis combat system. HELIOS can do two things. It can dazzle. That means blinding sensors and cameras on incoming threats. Soft kill. Or it can burn, physically destroying the target by heating critical components until they fail. Hard kill. During the test, HELIOS engaged and destroyed an unmanned aerial vehicle. The system tracked the target, locked on, and fired. The drone went down, and it cost almost nothing per shot. Now, HELIOS isn't fully combat deployed yet. It's still in the testing phase. But the Navy is already working on the next generation. A project called Songbo, awarded in June 2025, aims to develop a 400-kilowatt laser system. That's nearly 7 times more powerful than HELIOS. Why does more power matter? Range. Lethality. The ability to engage harder targets. Not just drones. Cruise missiles. Small boats. Anything that threatens the carrier. The long-term goal is a system called HELIOS. High-energy laser counter anti-ship cruise missile. A 300-plus kilowatt laser specifically designed to destroy incoming missiles. If successful, this would add a virtually unlimited magazine to carrier defenses. No reloading. No resupply. Just electricity and cooling. Lasers do have limitations. Weather affects them. Fog, rain, dust can scatter the beam. They need clear line of sight. And they require significant power generation and cooling systems. But for drone swarms? On a clear day at sea? Lasers are a game changer. Imagine a carrier strike group using Coyote and Roadrunner for close-range intercepts, traditional missiles for high-value threats, and lasers mopping up everything else, layer after layer of defense. Each one cost-effective, each one lethal, and there's one more piece to this puzzle. One that doesn't destroy the threat. It just makes it disappear. Electronic warfare and jamming. Not every defense has to be kinetic. Sometimes, the best way to stop a drone is to make it think it's lost. Electronic warfare is the art of controlling the electromagnetic spectrum, and the Navy is very, very good at it. Drones rely on signals, GPS for navigation, radio frequencies for control, video feeds for targeting. Disrupt those signals, and the drone becomes useless. Jamming can do several things. It can block GPS. The drone loses its position, flies off course, crashes. Or it can jam the control link. The operator loses contact. The drone either falls or activates a failsafe and returns to base. Some systems go further. Spoofing. This means sending false GPS signals, tricking the drone into thinking it's somewhere it's not. Suddenly, the drone that was heading for the carrier is flying in circles 50 miles away. Ukraine has proven how effective this is. In the war against Russia, Ukrainian forces reportedly lost 10,000 drones per month, mostly due to jamming. 10,000. That's how powerful electronic warfare has become. The US Navy uses similar systems. Directional jammers, omnidirectional jammers, high-powered microwave weapons that can fry the electronics of multiple drones at once across a wide arc. But adversaries are adapting. Some drones now use fiber optic cables, a physical line connecting the drone to the operator. No radio signals, no GPS, just a cable paying out as the drone flies. Harder to jam. Others use AI-based navigation, image recognition, terrain mapping, magnetic navigation. These systems don't rely on GPS at all. They match what they see to preloaded maps. And they keep flying even when jammed. That's why the Navy doesn't rely on electronic warfare alone. It's one layer, a critical one, but not the only one. The real strength is in how all these layers work together. Detection, tracking, jamming, laser engagement, interceptor drones, traditional missiles, all coordinated by AI, all feeding into one unified defense network. That's the secret weapon. Not one system, the entire system of systems. Why this matters now. Let's zoom out for a second. Why is all this happening now? Because the threat is real, and it's growing. China is developing autonomous drone swarms at scale. Their Type 076 amphibious assault ship is designed as a drone carrier. They're investing heavily in AI, in swarming technology, in overwhelming US defenses through sheer numbers. Iran and its proxies have already proven the concept. Cheap drones, mass attacks, force the enemy to spend millions defending against thousands. And it's not just state actors. The technology is spreading. Commercial drones can be weaponized with basic modifications. The barrier to entry is low. The threat is global. America's carriers are high-value targets. Billion-dollar warships carrying 75 aircraft and 5,000 sailors. Lose one, and you lose a massive chunk of national power projection. Adversaries know this. And they're designing their strategies around it. So, the Navy adapted. They didn't wait for the perfect solution. They fielded what works. Coyote, Roadrunner, AI coordination, lasers in testing, electronic warfare, layered defenses that can handle everything from a single rogue drone to a coordinated swarm of hundreds. And it's working. The systems are deployed. The Ford Carrier Strike Group is at sea. If they're sent to the Middle East again, they'll have tools their predecessors didn't. Tools that level the playing field. Tools that protect American lives without breaking the bank. This is what innovation looks like. Taking lessons from combat, adapting faster than the enemy, and deploying solutions that keep our sailors safe. The men and women serving on those ships deserve the best. And now, they have it. Conclusion. The era of cheap drones forcing expensive responses is ending. The United States Navy has turned the cost curve around. With interceptor drones, directed energy weapons, AI command systems, and electronic warfare, America's carriers are more protected than ever. This isn't just about technology. It's about staying ahead. About making sure that when our forces are at sea, they have every advantage. If you found this valuable, hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into military innovation and defense technology. We'll see you in the next one.